Hey there, welcome to Inside My Head. This is video number 4. So, thank you for joining me today. And so, today's thought I want to talk about mistakes versus decisions and being able to distinguish between the two. And so, what sort of brought this thought in my head today was, you know, I find myself frequently, thinking over, you know, different aspects of my life and um, the various actions that I have taken, both good and bad. But I especially tend to, I guess, focus a lot of my thinking on um, things that were not um, really beneficial to me, in any number of ways. And when I'm thinking about these things, oftentimes, I guess you say maybe naturally, I'm thinking of the mistakes that I've made in life. Um, so for example, choosing to continue in some sort of relationship well past the point, where it should have continued, so making those sorts of mistakes and um getting in, an argument with someone. Um um, Maybe prolonging something, you know, making mistakes doing that. I mean, there's so many different things you can, name and you think about. Oh man, that was a really dumb mistake, or taking on this particular, you know, loan or debt. That was a dumb mistake. But then some things we do, I think it does us, or at least it does me, a disservice to categorize them all under that nice, neat category of it being a mistake. Because I think the question that perhaps should be asked is, was it really? Was it really a mistake? So let's use a relationship example. Okay, let's say you decide to revisit a relationship that you know wasn't good for you, right? And you decide to have some sort of casual encounter. And as fate would have it, right? 6 months passed, you're looking back, you got nothing to show for it. You tell yourself, that was a dumb mistake. mm I think it's probably more of a dumb decision. You know, Mistakes are, oh no, you know, I meant to put in 1/4 cup of flour, uh, but I mistakenly used the 1/3 cup, right? That's a true mistake. Um, or, oh, I was filling up the car and instead of putting the 89, I put in the 87 grade. Man, mistake. But getting into bed with someone, taking off your clothes and doing the do isn't a mistake. You know, reading that fine print that says, I don't know, you'll have to pay this back um, in 3 months, right? And you decide, and let me go ahead and purchase this, I don't know, designer dress, knowing you don't have the money for it, right? But you buy it anyway, and you're going to charge it on your credit card. You didn't need it, right? And then later call it, oh man, that was a dumb mistake. Mistake? I don't know. Um, and that's just some simple examples, I guess, except for the sleeping with someone. That could be some serious consequences, right? And so, which leads me to kind of just thinking about what are some of the ramifications or consequences of these things in life that we love to just sort of chalk up as mistakes. Because if we choose to go about life making certain decisions or taking certain actions and then excusing it as a mistake, how do we learn a lesson? You know, what keeps you from continuing down that sort of path? You know, is there anything keeping you from that? Having to suffer more negative consequences? Because I think sometimes when you just categorize something as a mistake, it doesn't allow you to really take real ownership or accountability for your actions, and also perhaps um, gets in the way of you being able to sort of self reflect. And I'm sure, you know, you really think about some of the things in your own life, think about some of the things in your own life that maybe even right now you're just telling yourself, yeah, yeah, that was a mistake, you know. But what if you were just take a moment to just sit with it for a minute and then analyze it to really uncover, was it truly a mistake or was it a bad decision? So I just think it's important that we hold ourselves accountable. It's so easy, I think, to be comfortable in not sort of accepting ownership or accountability. Now we're all human. You know, we all make mistakes. But let's be clear on things that are truly mistakes and things that are actual decisions that we made so we can better the chances of making better decisions moving forward. So that's it. Just wanted to share that. That's my thought for today. Thank you for unlocking it with me and helping me free up so much space in this big old head of mine. Until the next time.